Oh, was just typing in the name of the video. Must have slept in a little later than I thought. Oh, a little chilly. My brain's not working yet. Had a hard time spelling Wednesday. You guys got to understand that. It's a weird word. I mean, it's a real weird word. Why would it be Wednesday? So what I'm going to need to do is just get up for a moment. Walk away from the phone. I hear my coffee percolating in the other room over there. And I'm going to go get some coffee. It's only going to take me a few moments. I'd recommend you get yourself a nice hot cup as well. And we'll meet back here in about 15 seconds. So hold on. Here I'm coming. I am coming back. Oh no, I don't have my watch. Don't have my watch. There's my watch. I'm on TikTok. TikTok doesn't have a clock in the top left. Don't know what time it is or how long I've been talking about. Hello, AM High. Hello, Jesse James. Hello, Denise, Vanessa, Bonnie, Championship, The Joy, Alan, and G-Trail. Thank you for joining so far this morning, or joining this morning. And good morning, good morning, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is, I got to figure it out again. It's Wednesday morning, I know that. And I know October 5th was Saturday, so the 6th was Sunday. 7th, 8th, October 9th. Happy Wednesday. It is 6, no it's not, it's 7:46 a.m. Might not be a very good show. Probably will not be a very good show today. I'm having a problem spelling the day of the week. And granted, it's a weird spelling day of the week. But at 56, I should be used to its strange spelling and not have to check to see if I added extra letters. I may have added extra letters. It looked particularly long today. I want it just to be W-E-D-D-A-Y or W-E-D-A-Y. Would-A. Think how much ink we would save if it was would-A. But anyway, good morning to you. This is a show, Coffee with Ken, that I've been doing for quite some time. It is a show about me talking, sharing some feelings, sharing a little bit of my morning, sharing kind of the ups and downs that life throws at us, hopefully more ups than downs. And I think either way, whether you get ups or downs, it's really just a matter of perspective. And if you can learn to look at the downs as a learning experience, everything becomes an up. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's kind of what I've been going through and learning about life and myself, and that I had a bad inner voice that would say negative things about a whole bunch of things, including myself and everything that happened in the world and the people around it. And if I could change my perspective, I could change my world. And I believe that. And if you can change your perspective, you can change your world too. But first, you got to notice you're doing it. And realize that you have something that needs fixed, or else you're not going to put in the effort or care to fix it. And it's got to be purposeful. I'm on a bunch of sobriety pages over on Facebook, and I'll let people watch people post. And you know, reading their words, it doesn't sound like they want to quit drinking, and they wonder why they can't quit drinking or why they haven't. They're trying to cut back, but the ride home is going to trigger them. And I don't know. As if it's the ride home's fault that they ended up drinking. It's not their fault. It's called being triggered. No, it's called making a lame excuse for you pulling into the liquor store or the bar and drinking alcohol. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me talking. You know, it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup. Who's Chuck Swindall? Faux real X. Who is Chuck Swindall? That name sounds familiar. I like it. The only thing I can control is my attitude. I don't know who Chuck Swindall is. Maybe somebody will answer that for me. Maybe not, but either way, I'm excited about my first sip of coffee at this very late hour for me. And my hope is wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that you have a nice hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh, hey, it's kind of nice. Surprised me a little bit. It's the hazelnut. It is the hazelnut. And it's not even Starbucks hazelnut. I don't even know if Starbucks makes a hazelnut. Oh, I stopped by an Aldi yesterday and was kind of curious. I don't know what I stopped in for, but I don't know. I needed something. I think I was there for like beef jerky. Beef jerky's gotten very expensive as well. And it's a nice little snack when you're hungry and you're out, but you don't want to either pay for a meal or sit down and spend the time for a meal. And you just need something, and you know the protein is good for you. So you just take a hunk and chaw on it, and that's what I was there for. But while I was there, I went in and I saw the coffee aisle. I go, I wonder if they have any pumpkin spice. They did not. But they had this hazelnut, which is delicious. Let me take another sip. Oh, it's really good. I've got no issues, no negative issues at all. I'm almost in a hurry to go back to Aldi and load up on some coffee because, I don't know, price is $4.99 or $5.99 a bag. Much better than the $7.99 to $11.99 you pay for Starbucks these days. And honestly, I talk about Starbucks a lot, but I don't really have any special love for their coffee. Teddy Kizzy asked when I graduated from Illinois. I graduated in 1990. Hello, Chugger from San Diego, California. Isn't it nice and early for you out there in San Diego? Had a customer at my table, or three ladies that were from San Diego, or I don't know, at least one of them was. And I go, La Mesa? And she goes, how did you know? And I didn't really know, but I lived there in like 1991 for a few months and lived in a La Mesa. And yeah, it's the end of that story. That's my San Diego story. Posted a couple videos yesterday, or actually one yesterday from yesterday's live, where I went deep into some issues I had in life and significant times. One was the story of me getting my DUI, which I just posted, and another was kind of the story of, I don't know, career highs and lows or something like that. And the story was much longer than my story about San Diego. I'm sure San Diego's lovely this time of year. Probably is. It's lovely every time of the year. I found San Diego, I mean, very beautiful, but I found Southern California kind of boring. It didn't have weather. It didn't have weather. They don't need weathermen in San Diego or in Southern California. Yeah. Hello from Maryland. How are you? As pleased as I am with the quality of the flavor of this coffee that I'm drinking that I purchased at Aldi, I must admit, as I was opening the bag for the first time this morning, it ripped down the side. And I wonder if the way I bet you all the coffee beans, I mean, they're probably not, but they might be ground up in the same factory. And the quality of the bag really determines it all, and the marketing behind it. And Aldi happens to use slightly cheaper bags that rip when you're opening them. But the coffee's just as good. Oh. So it's Wednesday morning. I don't know. I don't know what I have for you today. I slept in crazy late. I don't know if I want to talk much today. It was hard to get out of bed. I woke several times during the night with some negative feelings and negative thoughts and worries and fears. But I managed to keep going off and drifting back to sleep. And I did it through listening to positive affirmations and thinking about things I was grateful for and maybe saying a little prayer or two. But, yeah, it is okay to rest. It is okay to rest. And I think I needed it. I don't know why. I didn't even work last night. Sometimes it feels I'm more invigorated or more ready to get up first thing in the morning. First thing after a night of work. And like last night, I think going to work and feeling productive and earning money and, I think I get lost without it sometimes. Oh, I think that's what I was talking about, my day trading career. My day trading career. And I felt lost during my day trading career. I'd been a stockbroker for 10 years and didn't like it and had an opportunity to try something else. But something else meant sitting on my computer at home and kind of gambling on price movements and stocks. And I didn't like it. It left me feeling kind of yucky. I liked it when the stocks went up and I thought I was smart. But yeah. So I think not working last night. Good morning, Josh. I think not working last night kind of threw me off. I was watching some movies, wasn't into any of them. I think I went to bed kind of early. There was watched a little bit of a live show of a woman who does hypnosis here on TikTok, and honestly, I love her little hypnosis things, but not because I believe they hypnotize me to do what she's saying, but just the calmness in her voice helps me drift off to sleep. And I think hearing her voice talking last night was getting me kind of sleepy and drifted off. Frat Boy says, yes, if I don't stay active, do things, I lose it. And today is a day where I have very few plans because I'm off again today. I think my restaurant hired a bunch of waiters in the last few weeks after I got started. They were understaffed after all the kids went back to college. And the first couple weeks, I was working 6 days a week generally, which is good. Tiring, but good. And now I'm down to like 4 and maybe pick up a shift or 2. So I can get to 6, but it has to be fortune smiling on me. And maybe that leaves me worried, and maybe that leaves me feeling like my plans aren't coming to fruition as smoothly as I thought. And maybe that's why I was up a few times during the night. And maybe because 2 days ago, after I put my resume together, I sent out a bunch of applications to jobs online. And yesterday I did the same, but there weren't a whole lot of new jobs available. And I realized when I got back from Yellowstone, I got 2 jobs as a waiter or a server in the first 3 days. And it takes longer to get what some people call a real job. Highland 517 asked, has anyone reached back out to you yet? Well, yeah, but when you're applying online, you get kind of online responses. And there was a high-end car dealership in a local town that I applied to, and they sent me a nice email and text saying, thanks for applying. We've sent you this personality survey. Can you please complete it? So they're so thank you. Thank you, never again. Never again said apologies. I'm not in the mood to listen to your nonsense today, but I hope you have the best day. It makes me laugh because their name is Never Again. Why don't they just listen to their Never Again? I mean, they say never again. Why are they going to tune in tomorrow and not be in the mood to listen to my nonsense today? Why don't they know in advance? I feel they should know in advance. They named themselves Never Again. But anyway, yeah, I got some nicety, emails and texts back. But I think that process takes more time. And I think the people that are putting a job opportunity up on Indeed probably are loading the database filled with resumes of applicants that they can screen at their leisure and hire when they want. But again, I felt there was something I felt there was something efficient about walking around that first day back from Yellowstone and walking in with a resume and walking into restaurants and saying, hey, is your manager here? Well, yeah, they're in back. Well, do you know if you're hiring? Well, I'll go get him. And then if he comes out, they're hiring. And if he doesn't, they're probably not. Some would come out and say, no, they're not. But either way, it just felt like I was skipping 2 weeks ahead in the hiring process. So, Gold Standard said, after watching you the last couple of years, you should focus on sales in the home improvement space. You'd be great. I don't know if I'm good at sales. I don't know if I'm any good at sales. I think I'd want to give it away. Here, take this stuff. It would look nice in your home. I'm worried about car sales. I think a lot of I think I can bring people in. I know I can bring people in. I know I can show them a good time and charm them and they'd like me and they'd want to buy. But when it comes down to the hard closing and getting somebody to pay a little bit more for their automobile, I don't know if it's what I'm good at. We got a fairly decent audience. We got 35 people watching today. Again, I've been bouncing around on social media platforms, figuring out which one's the best. Every day I wake up and go, There's mean people on TikTok. I don't know if I want to go there. They say mean things to me. I have some issues with the platform, but it does also put me in front of have the potential to put you in front of a pretty good audience. And that feels good. And they do have a monetization system set up where if you post videos that get a lot of views that are over a minute long that are considered qualified views, they financially reward you for that. And over on Instagram, oh, thank you, Amy H. is sending me, what is she sending me? Hey, Halloween's. Sending me pumpkins. Thank you so much, Amy H. That's sweet. I didn't know you could send Halloween's. Somebody asked the other day, well, I have 2 little ones. I'm twice divorced. I got 2 little babies. One is going to be 2, and one is going to be 3.5 soon. And somebody asked what they were going as, and honestly, I didn't know. But I met my ex-wife out at a park a few days ago. And while we were sitting there, she said one's going as a cat, one's going in as a dog. And last year they went as Cookie Monster and Elmo. And they were the most beautiful Cookie Monster and Elmo. It almost makes me want to cry that I've ever seen. Yeah. I miss them. I mean, it's hard. It's hard. Especially when they're little. I mean, it was hard with my bigger girls. Again, it's hard being twice divorced. So a little more coffee. Hey, Robo Meister joined. Thank you for joining, Robo Meister. I appreciate you. You said some encouraging words. We even exchanged messages. It was good for me. I hope it was good for you. Will you guys be okay if I top off? Hey, Robo Meister, since you're just hopping on, I'm going to go get a little more coffee. Hang with me. Oh! I don't know why. I am so sore today. Oh. I mean, I don't think I did anything really of substance yesterday. After I had stuff to do in the morning, and I went to the coffee shop because it was my day off and edited some videos. And I told you I went to Aldi and picked up this delicious coffee. And while I was there, not only did I get beef jerky, but I got sucked into the trail mix, which I'm kind of hooked on. And I think I'm hooked on trail mix. Yeah, the nuts are pretty good. But I really like the M&Ms they throw in every now and again in the batch of nuts. And I really got a thing for chocolate. And I took a handful, and I, wow, that's good. These nuts have protein in them. And I ended up eating the whole bag. And that was really my food intake for the day, outside of some fruit and some cottage cheese in the morning. But I looked at the bag, and it said servings 25. I think it said 25. And the calories were like 140. So that means in that one bag of trail mix, which when they throw the word trail in it, you kind of think mountainous and hiking and athletic and good for you. But there was 3,500 calories. And I sat there as the huge amount of nuts formed a bowling ball size growth in my stomach and started going, oh. That was too many. So to offset those 3,500 calories, as I'm leaving the coffee shop about to get on my scooter, I go, hey, I'm going to go for a little walk around the neighborhood. As if a mile-long walk is going to offset the 3,500 calories I took in. I think for a long time I thought I did it. If I did like 10 jumping jacks, I could eat 4 slices of cake. But as I learned, you can't exercise your way to weight loss, or you almost just can't. I was going to put a caveat in there and say, well, if you're a marathoner or you're swimming 5 miles a day or something like that. But, you know, most of us don't do that. And, yeah, most of us don't do that. And I see so many people at the gym. And I think most of the people at the gym are there to lose weight. Or at least 80% lose weight or 70% lose weight, and maybe 20 or 30% to build muscle or get stronger. But I think most people that go to the gym are doing it for weight loss. And if you want to lose weight, while exercise is good for you, it's really hard to get any results because you got to do a whole lot of exercise to offset, in my case, an entire bag of trail mix. I mean, on the positive, it probably got me a lot of my protein requirement for the day. But again, on the negative, it felt horrible, and I sat there. And last night, that was probably part of my reason I didn't feel like moving. I wasn't even in the mood to watch a movie. There was a couple Halloween movies on, and 'tis the season. Yeah. So those are my thoughts about that. What makes me think most are going to the gym for weight loss only? I don't know. Just a thought. Oh. Hello, May May. Thank you for joining. Well, I'd say a lot of the people I see are overweight at the gym would be my rationale. Or there's people that are overweight. And I think I know, and I'm educated and used to exercise a lot, but I still kind of have the misconception that exercise, I hate to say it's not an ingredient in weight loss because it is, but it's maybe 10% of the equation and 90% is what we're eating. So, yeah. Oh, we kind of got a quiet audience today. Amy H sent me 10 pumpkins about 5 or 10 minutes ago. And I appreciate those, Amy H. I really do. Again, I was thinking that TikTok's good to get a large audience, but I tuned into this woman last night, and she has about 300,000 followers here on TikTok. And she's a young blonde woman, and I'd consider fairly attractive. And if you were flipping through TikTok and, probably a man and interested in eye candy, you'd probably more stop at her than you would stop at my page or my live. Yet she only had 50 people watching at that time. I was surprised by that. I would have thought with an audience of 300,000, she would have had 10 or 20 or 50 times that crowd. Made me kind of feel about you 31. Oh, Amy H sent me more pumpkins. Amy H, you're the sweetest thing. I don't know who this Amy H is, but I'm going to follow her back and just see how our relationship goes. Anyone willing to invest 20 pumpkins into my Coffee with Ken show, I got to like a little bit. I don't really follow many content creators. Again, some hypnotists kind of. I like to relax and fall asleep and hear their soft, calming words. But most of the people on social media, if I want something, I'm going to look for it. I just don't spend a whole heck of a lot of time. Her age demographic may not spend as much time on TikTok they follow, but don't watch as much. Well, user, I get that. But an attractive blonde woman in her, I'd guess, mid to late 20s has a very broad age demographic. I'll bet you most of her audience aren't young blonde women. It's a hunch. And honestly, it might have drawn me there at first as well, or at least had me stop and pause. Maybe had me stop and pause. But I don't really care about that at all anymore. I just kind of like to go. She goes, and your eyes will be shutting. And then, honestly, because I'm trying to go to sleep, so while she's talking, my eyes are shut. So what she looks like is very irrelevant. She's like one of these dating call in and talk to a woman on the phone who's got a real sexy voice. Hello, handsome. People say I have a good voice. I should be on radio or TV or broadcasting somehow. Maybe I could do one of these 1-800-HOT-DUDE lines and say, hello, beautiful. How are you? But then they get a camera and it's of what I look like. It's a 56-year-old bald man. I was picturing Brad Pitt. Look what he looks like. Brad Pitt's like 60. It's just not fair. It's just not fair. I'd like to have some inspirational words for you and say, it's not how you look that matters. And it's really not. I bet you Brad Pitt's had just as challenging of a life as any of us, which is going to be hard to believe for most of us. Because he looks handsome and he's dated beautiful women and he makes a ton of money and can buy anything he wants. But I get a sense every time I hear him talk that he has some depth to his soul and some hurt in his words. And I think that's what I like about him, that he's real. That he plays real characters, or, he doesn't just rely on his good looks for his roles, because I think it would have been easy to do. Oh. Robo Meister says, if it pays the bills. I think you're talking about me on 1-800-HOT-DUDE. I wonder, maybe on Indeed, I'll send him a resume. I'll look up the 1-800-HOT-DUDE number today. I don't have much going on. I got a lot of time. I got the cell phone. Maybe I could do it myself. Maybe there is no 1-800-HOT-DUDE. I'll get a picture of Brad Pitt, and I'll use him with his shirt off as my picture on the website. And say, yes, I know this looks like Brad Pitt, but it's really me. We're like twins. Everywhere I go, people say, wow, are you Brad Pitt? No, I'm 1-800-HOT-DUDE. You looking for some talk late at night, ladies? Or dudes, or gentlemen? I don't know. Maybe not. Well, I don't know if this show's going to be of any substance today. I know my coffee's good. I know the sun is shining. I know I have a large day ahead of me without anything scheduled, and that kind of irks me a little bit. I think I'd feel more at peace if I knew I was going into the restaurant at 3 o'clock today or what have you, and knew I was going to make a few $100s tonight at work, and knew I had an interview later today or 2 later this week. And again, you eat an elephant one step at a time, or one bite at a time, not one step. You eat an elephant one bite at a time. And maybe expecting, just because I sent out 15 resumes over the last couple days and applications, that I'd have an interview later today is fantasy land. And so maybe it's okay. And maybe if I focus on how grateful I am for the cup of coffee I have in my hand and the 27 people watching and this kind woman named Amy H. who sent me 20 pumpkins and the job I have, even though I'm not working tonight, and the babies I have, even though I'm probably not going to see them today, and the older girls I have, and the coffee shop I love to go to, and the beautiful town I live in, and the roof over my head. I think I feel better. I woke up again today just going, what am I going to do? How am I going to make this productive? How am I going to conquer the world today? And I don't think you can conquer the world in a day, but you can take a step towards it. And I guess that's what I'm going to have to remind myself. And sometimes the smallest steps are the most important. And I can think of a few small steps I can do between now and conquering the world that would get me going in the right direction. Robo Meister's a businessman. He goes, we need a coffee sponsorship for my show with you taking the orders via the phone. That'll be extra hot latte, mocha, frappuccino, venti. That'll be $9.95. I wonder, is there a breaking point to coffee prices? Like, is $10 a barrier? Because I know people go into Starbucks, and again, I think $5 is a barrier. And I think in real estate, there were price barriers. You know, people would be looking for under $200,000 for a condo or under $300,000 for a home. And those barriers have grown now where people are probably shopping at under $500,000 for a home or whatever in my area. And they're not having much luck. I wonder if the same would go with coffee prices. You know, would kids care if they went in and wanted to order whatever the kids are ordering these days and it was $11.95? The thought of $11.95 seems painful for a frappuccino. Or would I bother? Because I've been going to Pete's Coffee lately, and the coffee I get there, getting a large coffee, is like $4, $4.15 or something like that. It slightly bothers me that it's $4.15, but it'd bother the heck out of me if it was $5.15. I think. Oh. What about Planet Fitness part-time? No. A part-time job, I can't spend hours making $15 or $18 an hour. I've realized that. I think I need to be productive beyond that. I don't have enough time in my day. I just happen to have a day off today and nothing planned. Frappuccinos are too sugary. Black old brew with a bit of cream works. Well, thank you, Cannoli Jones, for your thoughts. But anyway, anybody else have anything important they want to talk about this morning? It's a quiet morning. I hope you can forgive me for having a quiet morning today. Just drinking a cup of coffee or two. You want to talk about the election? I always get in trouble when I talk about the election. Specifically, what would you like to say about the election? I'm not going to say too much politically, but it is coming up. And maybe because it's a different time. Electoral college, yay or nay? Yay. I don't know. The founding fathers figured it out and decided it works. And I don't see a real big issue with it either way. It's odd how close the last few elections are. And, you know, say you get 65 million for one candidate and 70 million votes for another, that it's basically 50-50. And I feel, and that's what it's been the last couple of elections. And that's what the pundits are saying it's going to be this year. And when you have an election which is roughly 50% of the country voting two different ways, you're going to have half the country disappointed. And that's unfortunate. Sunday Sugar, okay, is asking a real estate question or statement. A home for 370 grand is 2,700 a month right now. That's a realtor in Alabama. To rent? Yeah. Let me see, a home for 370 grand. That's probably what it'd be here, roughly too. 20, it might be more than that. Yeah, no, that's about what it'd be. It's tough. Renting's tough. Buying's tough. I had some customers I was working with, customers at the restaurant the other day, and they're looking to buy a home. And I've taught, I still, although I'm not a realtor currently or won't be again, I still talk to a lot of people in the, that are looking to buy and sell homes. I'm still interested, and I still think I can offer some insights. And the woman I was talking to on Saturday had moved further and further west, hoping to be able to buy the home of her family's dreams for less money. And I think she's facing the same issues here, that a home will come on the market and she'll have a budget she needs to stick to, and the home's priced in her budget, and she'll put in a bid that tops out her budget, but somebody else will pay 5 or 10% more. And I think what this woman needs to do, if I was her realtor, is say your budget's $380,000 or something like that. I would look at a home that's been on the market priced at $410,000 for a while. And I know there's not many homes sitting on the market for a while these days, but there's got to be some homes that are overpriced and aren't selling because they're priced too high. And if you could find a home that's been on the market a month or two that's priced at $410,000 or $420,000, and you can bid $380,000, maybe $390,000, throw it in and see if they'll take it. But I know it's tough right now. I know it's tough for rentals. I'm keeping an eye on a couple rentals, and I'm looking for a rental for myself. I desperately need a 2-bedroom home, so I can have a place to have my kids spend some quality time. And I, at this moment, am having a hard time affording it. Sunday Sugar said 90 days average on market right now. I can't imagine that's true here. I went into a couple townhomes yesterday, or into a model townhome yesterday, and it was neat. The realtor in there I didn't recognize, but he said we did a deal together, or worked on a deal together many years ago. But he was a nice guy. And I went in, and it was this whole block that was used for something else here near downtown Naperville. It was taken down, and they're building these townhomes. And the townhomes was beautiful, but it would have been priced at about $2 million. And it was a townhome, and it was like 5 floors, and it had an elevator. But each of the, it was very vertical. It was very vertical. I don't know if I have any interest in taking an elevator in my home. And I would assume people that are buying townhomes, or people that want to live in the neighborhood that are downsizing for single-family homes but still want to stay in the neighborhood, also known as slightly older people. And if you're slightly older, the thought of going from the basement gym to the 3rd or 4th floor bedroom to change, yeah, you could take an elevator. But I don't know if I'd want to take an elevator. And at $2 million, I guess if money is no object. I was thinking about it, and I talked about the price of coffee a little bit ago. Maybe I'm old. Maybe I'm old, and the numbers that we put on prices of things just don't matter anymore. And for some reason, I can't get out of my mind that a nice home in Naperville should be listed at $400,000. And just because it changed to $600,000, they're just numbers. And $600,000 means what $400,000 meant 5 years ago. And just because the bag of Starbucks coffee is $11 at the grocery store, they're just made up numbers. I think that might be a dangerous thought, though. I think that might be a dangerous thought. Because so long in my life, again, I look at the apartments I rented in the city in the early 1990s, and I know that's going way back. But the very first high-end place I rented was like $980 a month, and it gave me a month free on a 13-month lease at McClurg Court in Streeterville in Chicago, if anyone knows Chicago. It was really nice. I had a gym. It felt really fancy, and I felt like rich living there, and the rent was under $1,000 a month. But I know that's a long time ago. But for most of my life, the prices on things slowly moved up. And in the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you could see the prices go up. Every day you'd go and buy a box of cereal or a gallon of milk or look at a new home to buy or to rent. You'd see them going up every month. My wife and I were realtors together, and we lived in a nice, fairly nice neighborhood in Naperville. And we'd watch the home across the street, and we were renting the home we had, and we'd dream about, hey, maybe we could buy it. And it was, $395,000, but that same home today would be $550. In 3 years. So yeah, in a world of spiraling up prices, a part-time job for me at Planet Fitness just to keep me busy and create a little bit of revenue wouldn't be worthwhile. I know some might argue or some might think that's defeatist, and maybe it is. But picking up 10 hours a week is $110 after taxes. I need to be more productive with those 10 hours a week. Even if it's talking to my phone right now. Even if it's sending resumes to people that don't respond. Even if it's going to church. Even if it's going to the gym. I have to find a way to make my time more valuable than $15 an hour. Robo Meister says it feels like wages haven't caught up with inflation yet. That's true, Robo Meister. And that's one nice thing about working in a restaurant, because in a restaurant, you're paid off tips, which are determined from the price of the food people are ordering. And since the price of the food they're ordering and they're tipping off that, my income goes up with inflation. And there was no other career I had where that happened, and it's nice to see it. It's nice to see it. So, anyway, it's just after 8:30. I want to thank you so much for joining today. I really appreciate you guys. I'd still talk some more, but again, I'm feeling kind of quiet. If you're not going to throw out some subjects that I want to dig my teeth in, I might not, and I might get to my day. And I think the best start to my day is going to be taking a hot shower, shaving, maybe putting on a button-down shirt, and feeling like I look nice even on a day off, and going at the day with a little more intent. I mean, I go with my every day with intent. Maybe go at the day with a little more being okay and acceptance that things are okay, even though they're not where I want to be, and I'm not in the 2-bedroom home with the car where I can go pick up my little ones and bring them back and set up cribs in the 2nd bedroom and have them spend the night. But maybe this is just my journey to getting there. And it's a longer journey than I thought. Robo Meister said, I think talking religion and politics is rough here on TikTok. I've got a thought about that, Robo. I think rough might be a good way to go. I think if you're a content creator and you're not touching emotions, you're probably not going to get a huge viewership. And thank you, user. I think if I dove into the subject of politics here on TikTok, I think my page would go up a lot, grow a lot quicker than if I just sat here and drank coffee and talked with people in the morning. You know, you're going to tick some people off. Some people are going to love you. But that's what they do. That's what the news channels do. You know, Fox News and CNN get huge viewership because they touch a nerve. And they touch a nerve. Logical Lemon says your show is good as it is. Well, thank you, Logical Lemon. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, and I hope that it is, because I'm not trying to piss anybody off. I'm hoping I can, you know, every once in a while I'll say something of value, and I'll talk about sobriety or mental health or, you know, careers or divorce or whatever. And Holly Jones, you could look up the history of coffee, and sorry to say it in a mocking voice, but you could look up the history of coffee and share information with us as a coffee historian. But I'm not a coffee historian, Cannoli. I don't even want to be a coffee historian. I don't want to be a coffee. How are the opportunities out there looking overall? Howdy, Will Bilchill. Where have you been? Where have you been, Will Bilchill? I was worried about you a little bit. I feel a little guilt because I have certain people on certain platforms. And my man Will Bill found me on another platform and has been very kind and consistent and a great follower. But I bounce around on platforms. And while I'm deciding, seriously, every morning I go, but what about these people? They might not tune in on this other platform. So I'm glad to see you here, Will Bill. The opportunities out there are looking great. I think there's a ton of opportunities. I just think sending resumes out online is a tough gig. And I know I have friends that take 6 months or a year to find a job, or longer sometimes. And I have a job that's kind of paying the bills right now. So maybe my motivation isn't, you know, foaming at the mouth type motivation. And if it was, I'd get on a suit and I'd go into offices and I'd walk in with a resume and I'd say, hey there, here I am. My name's Ken Tracy. Are you hiring? And, you know, 9 doors might slam on me or they might call security, but I'll bet you the 10th one would say, hell, this guy looks good, sounds good, and's got some balls. I certainly can find something in my company for somebody that looks good, sounds good, and has some balls. You know, who can't? Who can't? So I think the opportunities are just fine, Teddy Kissy. I think I was probably just licking my wounds a little bit this morning, because in 2 days, when I first came back from Yellowstone, I was hired. And in 2 days, no matter how pretty my resume is, you know, and I check my emails and check, you know, I think realistically every job probably gets, online job probably gets 100 or more applicants. And I don't know that to be true, but I bet it is, because it's so easy to send in an application online. But it's hard to go in and face rejection and shake somebody's hand and look them in the eye and say, you know, and face rejection face to face. And I think my willingness to do that is more valuable than any skill I could put on a resume. Any word that says aggressive or great with customer service or whatever. Me walking in, smiling, looking the business owner in the eye and shaking their hands, I think is my best resume. Better than any resume I can put together. And, you know, maybe if it gets cold enough or I get desperate enough, I'll resort to that. And maybe I should today before I get desperate or cold. Maybe I will. So. Anyway, I want to thank you so much for joining on this Wednesday. I know it's Wednesday. My dad sent me a text today saying it was hump day. It's cute when my dad sends memes or texts or funny little things. He's got an emoji of himself that looks just like him. It's amazing. A shorter version of him, but it still looks just like him. He's pretty tech savvy for somebody that's 84. Yeah. But anyway, I want to thank you so much for joining. I really do appreciate you guys hopping on this morning. I hope your week is going well. I hope you had a great night's sleep. I hope you're excited about your day. You're enjoying your hot cup of coffee, that you're feeling good, that you are loving yourself, that you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.